Blood clotting or coagulation is the process where blood changes from a liquid to a gel, forming a clot to help stop bleeding. It's also called hemostasis, and the steps are vascular spasm, platelet plug formation, and the coagulation cascade. The teacher droned on, totally unaware that Violet's mind was miles away. Violet had always been a science geek. She thought it was fascinating. If there was one thing she was looking forward to at Linares, it was the advanced classes and awesome labs. Right now, they are studying how human and werewolf blood clotting works. But Violet had stopped taking notes on her smartphone a while ago. It was all because of the werewolf sitting next to her. Allaric Storm was still asleep. And even though it shouldn't have bothered her, it did. Not just because he was missing the lecture, but because he was so ridiculously good-looking. Violet couldn't count how many times she'd start writing notes, then look over and find herself staring at his face, her heart suddenly pounding. And just like that, whatever the teacher was saying would go in one ear and out the other. Finally, Violet gave up. She'd just study later in her dorm. Her attention was totally focused on Allaric now. She found herself watching him sleep, which she knew was kind of creepy. The teacher hadn't even said anything to Allaric, even when she noticed him sleeping. Violet wondered if it was because he was a Cardinal Alpha, or if she was just used to him sleeping in class, or maybe both. Why was he sleeping in class, though? Did he just not care because he was like the king of school? Or was he up all night? Now that she was looking closer, she could almost swear she saw dark circles under his eyes. Was he not sleeping well? Trying to figure him out, Violet didn't realize how close she'd gotten. She was practically peering at him like a kid with a new toy, trying to figure out how it worked. People said Allaric was the quietest of the Cardinal Alphas, and Violet could see that. There was this innocent, peaceful vibe about him. And it was almost like she could feel it too, calming her down, which was weird. A breeze from the window blew a piece of his curly hair over his face, and Violet's eyes locked onto it. Her hand was practically itching to move it. She must seriously have a thing for hair. Oh, whatever. Violet reached out to tuck the hair away, but before her fingers even touched his forehead, a hand shot out and grabbed hers. A little gasp escaped her lips. Allaric was awake. He was staring at her like she'd completely lost it. That's when Violet noticed he was wearing a glove, and she stared back at him, shocked. She saw something that looked like a vein of lightning go through his head. Wait a second. Could it be? At the same time, his eyes flashed with ice-cold anger. I'd suggest you keep your hands to yourself from now on. Violet's face burned. She mumbled a quick sorry and stared straight ahead. For the rest of the class, she didn't hear a word the teacher said. Her mind was racing, and all she could do was kick herself for being so dumb. It was obvious now that Allaric had problems controlling his powers. That must be why he kept to himself, so he wouldn't hurt anyone. And she'd practically tried to poke him. Violet knew she had a self-destructive streak, and this just proved it. But even so, she couldn't help but feel bad for him. These powers weren't supposed to be a curse. Had the moon goddess even thought about that before giving them to him? Violet snapped back to attention when the teacher mentioned something about pairing up with your seat partner for an experiment. They were supposed to compare human and werewolf blood clotting times using mixed plasma samples. Great. She was on her own then. Soon enough, the samples were passed around, with pairs already working on their experiments. Violet sat by herself, Allaric Storm having turned away to continue sleeping. Someone sure loved their sleep. The key difference between werewolf and human blood clotting was that werewolf blood clotted faster. This helped them heal quickly from injuries, whether they were in human or wolf form. Ferrocene, the key ingredient in the experiment, was a rare mineral used in control settings to compare clotting rates across species. When exposed to ferrocene, werewolf blood clots almost twice as fast as human blood. Violet had to follow the textbook carefully, since she hadn't been paying attention. She grabbed the ferrocene vial and worked independently since her partner was out cold. She wondered how the teacher would grade this since Allaric hadn't done anything. Halfway through, just as Violet was about to add the ferrocene, Allaric grabbed her hand. Before she could react, he'd taken the vial, poured some out, and added it to the sample. "Why did you—" Violet started, but the icy glare he shot her made her shut up and focus on the experiment. They stayed quiet for a few minutes, watching the clotting indicator. The reaction had reached the required result. Just then, the biology teacher, who'd been watching them, came over. She looked at their work, a proud expression on her face. "Great work as usual, Allaric Storm," she praised. "Wait, what?" Violet couldn't believe her ears. Did he just take all the credit? Sure, he'd added the correct amount of ferrocene, which she couldn't deny since her measurement was wrong. And judging by the failed experiments around them, he had saved her. But still, she'd done all the work. The teacher continued. "Precise measurements are critical. Too much ferrocene can mess up werewolf blood clotting, slowing it down instead of speeding it up. Good work, Allaric. You knew that rule and must have guided your lab partner, didn't you?" Allaric looked at Violet, and for the first time she wondered why she'd ever thought he was innocent. He was a total wolf in sheep's clothing. He said with a fake smile, "Of course I did. Violet must be so grateful." Violet was too angry to even care that he knew her name. "Good." The teacher clapped her hands, clearly pleased. "It's great to know you have a lab partner you can tolerate. I'm sure you two will make a great team." At that, Allaric turned to Violet, studying her with an unreadable expression. "Well," he drawled, "color me excited."
Wait, that's not the end. You've just had a free taste. Now get the full story on the Pocket FM app, link in description. Check out our next video and playlist, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.